Airline status is one of those things that I think a lot of us have a love-hate relationship with. Some of us love to love it. Some of us love to hate it. And the higher up in status we go, the more we expect things. And I feel like the less we actually get.
This isn't chicken. This is chicken. Want some?
Eddie, I think I'll just be over by the saltines.
Oh, okay.
But airline status can be valuable. Aside from the common perks like priority boarding or free seat upgrades or free check bags, there are some other ways that you could really leverage status, like boosting your mile earning potential the higher up in status you get, and being able to leverage that status with alliance members within that airline, like the One World Alliance from American Airlines. So if achieving status with American Airlines or getting to that Sapphire or Emerald level with the One World Alliance is of interest to you, hang out for a bit. I think we're gonna get into some quick strategies where you can get some relatively quick wins to hit gold status or higher in relatively short order. And look, this is not a video talking about hitting status and earning all these wonderful perks and benefits without spending. I'm not here to tell you that I have alligator arms and I earn all these wonderful perks by being frugal. I spend and I try to maximize the categories and my return, and I redeem. So status with American Airlines means much more than the perks and the benefits that I receive domestically with AA. Where I get a lot of value out of my status is being able to leverage One World Emerald, which you get with Platinum Pro status or higher through American. So here's a quick snapshot of the different levels of status and status match that you receive from One World by being an AA loyalty member. So where you really start to see value is Sapphire or higher at the Emerald level, which means we need to hit at least Platinum status with American, which means we need to earn at least 75,000 loyalty points. So here's some methods to hit and exceed 75,000 loyalty points if you're willing to commit. And this doesn't take a lot of work or a high level of spend, but it does take some commitment. So to help get you to status a little bit quicker, you may want to consider one of the co-branded credit cards from American Airlines and probably with Citi. And the card that I'm going to talk about here is the Citi Executive World Elite MasterCard for a couple of reasons. First, if you're traveling a good bit and you want to frequent airport lounges and get access to the Admirals Clubs, the Citi Executive Card is a great way to get you in at no additional cost. There is a $595 annual fee for this card, but that's cheaper than an Admirals Club membership. And your spouse and any children under the age of 18 can get in with you on the same reservation, or up to 2 guests. So a few other things here. The loyalty point bonuses, when you hit 50,000 and 90,000 loyalty points, you get 10,000 loyalty point bonuses, 2 of them in total. So if you're going for Platinum Pro at 125,000 loyalty points, this essentially gets you 20,000 loyalty points of the way there. So if we were to put a value on that and what you would have to spend to get 20,000 loyalty points, $595 and an annual fee is a pretty good return. Now, this card does essentially get you gold status with American Airlines. So if gold is all you're aiming for to get priority boarding and free check bags and a couple of other things, you may just want to consider paying $595, the annual fee for this card, and then getting priority boarding, getting free check bags for you and up to 8 guests on the same reservation, and some other perks and benefits. Again, I've held this card for a number of years, so holler at me down below if you have any questions on this card or others from American Airlines. So there's 3 key methods that I'm going to talk about here, and they do kind of go hand in hand. The first one being the AAdvantage e-shopping portal. Now, this is an online shopping portal similar to Capital One's portal or Rakuten. These things can get a bit overwhelming. There's so many of them out there. My advice, if you're trying to leverage multiple of them or just see who has the best deals to earn points or miles, check out cashbackmonitor.com. You can actually plug in which specific ecosystems you're trying to earn points or miles. It takes a little bit of the legwork out of going from site to site. Now, there's tons of categories with this e-shopping portal, from home improvement to retail to electronics. I try to subscribe to my favorites, and when I see elevated earning potential, which happens pretty regularly where I see 8 to 10 miles per dollar, I jump at some of those. Like with Lululemon and Under Armour, those seem to be 2 that I see with elevated earning potential pretty regularly. Now, my biggest earn to date was with Motley Fool, which you probably have seen. There's quite a few elevated offers for a few different companies like Motley Fool. This one netted me 7,400 base miles and loyalty points for only a $99 spend, so incredible return. Plus, with my Platinum Pro status, I did get a 30% boost on my loyalty points. So I earned just north of 9,600 loyalty points for this $99 spend. Now, with this shopping portal, you don't have to use American Airlines co-branded credit cards. You can use any credit card. So with this Motley Fool purchase, I actually had an Amex offer with my Platinum card. So I made this purchase with my Amex Platinum card for $99. I received a $50 statement credit back. So this was only a $49 purchase for 9,600 loyalty points. So essentially a quarter of the way to gold status without even stepping on a plane. Now there's a few other purchases I made through this portal. Some of them take up to 2 to 3 weeks before they hit your account. I made a purchase with HelloFresh recently for $47 and change, and I received 3,400 miles and loyalty points. It doesn't show up yet on my account, but it should here in the next couple of days. Now, the next strategy is somewhat of a point stacking method by leveraging Simply Miles. And Simply Miles is similar to Amex offers or Chase offers, if you're familiar with those. They're supposed to be somewhat targeted to the individual, even though I don't feel like the offers I receive through Simply Miles are targeted. The big difference with Simply Miles versus Amex offers or Chase offers is you don't have to use a co-branded credit card from American Airlines to take advantage of these different offers. So the only catch here is you need to use a MasterCard. So like the Chase Freedom cards would apply, and you can maximize some top spending categories with the Freedom cards to point stack with Simply Miles. I tend not to mess around, and I usually just use my Citi Executive World Elite card from American Airlines because there's only 2 or 3 main Simply Miles offers that I've taken advantage of. I haven't fully committed to Simply Miles really until this year. I'm not trying to give you guys some strategies or tactics that I haven't fully taken advantage of myself. I'm trying to be real and share some of my experiences. So to me, where I've gotten the most value so far with these Simply Miles offers is to stack this with my Citi Executive World Elite card and some Citi merchant offers for Lyft. Now with my Citi Executive card, I get 5% cash back on Lyft. The Simply Miles offer, which runs pretty much throughout the year, has been 4 miles per dollar. So when you combine those two together, we're looking at somewhere around a 9% cashback strategy at a minimum. Here's a few screenshots of some of my statements where you can see some of the miles and the loyalty points that I've earned. Walgreens has been the other one that I use because I can stack that for in-store purchases with my Simply Miles and my Citi merchant offers. So there's one sizable point stack that I wanted to talk about here, and it's not 10,000 plus points or anything like that, but I combined 3 different methods to point stack, and this was all done with my Citi Executive card from American Airlines. I definitely have a love-hate relationship with this card. I'm trying to use it more frequently where it makes sense now. So first up, the Citi merchant offer by spending with TurboTax was to receive a $5 cashback statement credit. So nothing crazy there, but when I combine it with Simply Miles and with the e-shopping portal, that's where it all came together. So next was the Simply Miles offer that was to use a MasterCard, in this case, that Citi Executive card from American Airlines, to earn 230 miles and loyalty points by making a purchase just through activating this offer. And then last here is the e-shopping portal. My advice, use the browser extension so you can make sure to activate the offers, and you see the little thumbtack that shows that the offer is activated. This was for 450 base miles and loyalty points just by activating the offer through the e-shopping portal. So when you combine all of these together, plus the fact that I receive a 30% boost on my loyalty points based on my status with American, if my math is correct, this netted me 884 loyalty points for a $230 spend that I was going to make either way. So I'm not big into factoring the cent per point value of miles, especially with American Airlines, because I can find really good redemptions, but I also travel when I want and redeem points whenever I want. So at a conservative 2 cents per point, which is much less than I average with American Airlines, plus the $5 cash back on the statement credit that I received through the Citi merchant offer, this $230 purchase netted me over $18 in value, or over an 8% return on spend. Plus there's the value of the loyalty points earned here, which you can't really monetize, but to me, this total spend of $230 netted me well over a 10% return. Feel free to shoot me a question or comment on Instagram if you want. You can grab my handle in the description down below, or feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions whatsoever. Now, the third and final strategy that I'll talk about today, and I promise there's many others that I could share with you if you have questions, I just couldn't resist one any longer, and that's leveraging the AAdvantage hotels through Rocket Travel. Now, like the shopping portals, there are so many different methods of which you can book hotels. There's all kinds of third-party portals like Expedia. There's hotel-specific portals. So this is another one where you really need to pick your battles. And for me, I'm more of a Marriott loyalist, but I try to leverage all the credits and benefits of the different cards that I have. So I've already used my American Express Platinum $200 hotel credit. I have another trip where I'm using my $85K free night award from my Ritz-Carlton card from Marriott. And I just got back from a trip where I leveraged over 300,000 points from Marriott for an all-inclusive property in Cancun. Check out that video after we're done here if you want to see the redemptions that I made. I've even used my $50 hotel credit from the Chase Sapphire Preferred that people love to hate, and my $300 travel credit from the Capital One Venture X for a flight. So I'll make sure to talk about that redemption here in the near future. So AAdvantage Hotels allows you to earn miles and loyalty points based on hotel spends. And you can't link your hotel loyalty programs, but you can earn a ton of loyalty points and miles by using this portal. So it is definitely something that I would recommend leveraging once or twice per year at a minimum. So I have an upcoming summer trip to Amsterdam, and I have some other ways that I'm using some of my other cards for hotel spend. But I did want to look at leveraging a night or two by using this hotel platform in Amsterdam. So check out what 2 nights at one of these hotels, and there's a great list of hotels, top properties, middle of the road, low tier, just based on what you're looking for and the locations that you're looking for them. But check out the loyalty points and base miles earned for 2 nights at these specific properties. So again, the downside, you can't link your loyalty program from different hotels. But to me, the upside tremendously outweighs that in my opinion. So check out this NH Collection property that earns 12,500 base miles and loyalty points based on a room rate of $368 per night. To me, the value is definitely there. If you want the non-refundable rate, $455 a night for 12,900 base miles and loyalty points. These NH Collection hotels are pretty nice. I stayed at one in Porto, Portugal last year, so I have confidence in the value here. This gets you nearly a third of the way to gold status just by staying 2 nights at a hotel. So to do this 1 or 2 times a year to get nearly halfway or above to gold status, it's definitely worth it to me. And I booked this exact hotel, this room rate. Once it hits my account, I'll definitely provide some follow-up there. So based on the spend that I've made so far between Motley Fool, HelloFresh, this hotel, and a few others, only a handful of flights, I'm going to be at gold status or above by the end of April, if not sooner. So all these other strategies that I've talked about require you to spend money to earn miles or to earn loyalty points. One thing I did want to mention, and please note, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but Basque Bank, and I'll link this down below. They're a division of Texas Capital Bank. They are FDIC insured. They have really competitive high yield savings accounts and CDs, by the way. But they also have a American Airlines savings account. So on the investment front, every dollar invested is going to earn you 2.5 miles annually. So if you were to do some quick calculations and you were to put 15 grand into a high yield savings account that's somewhere around 5% APY, that's going to earn you around $750 annually. If we were to do the calculations on $15,000 invested into one of these Basque American Airlines accounts, that's going to earn you 37,500 miles. At 2 cents per point, it's about the same, $750 in value. You can easily get more than a 2 cent per point redemption with American Airlines. So to make this a good investment, you need to find north of a 2 to 2.5 cent per point redemption with American. 3 cents per point is easily attainable, especially if we're talking business class, lay flat, either with the Caribbean or over to Europe. Hit me up if you have any additional questions on this. So the miles and the status is there for the taking, and it doesn't have to be overly complicated or overly expensive. Go create some memories. We'll talk again soon. Cheers.